Did you just say Will Chamberlain?
Wait, who was it? No, it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
This is how I know you're not a Lakers fan or a human fan. The dude died.
I'm not a human fan. He did die.
Her heroes will live forever.
Zombies freaking arrived.
Forever.
I would have left too.
In my head, I was thinking.
If I was Will Chamberlain, I would have left too. What the fuck am I here doing?
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Here Speak podcast. I am your sick host, Chris, and we're here to talk about entertainment, culture, and really whatever the hell we feel like. And with me today to have this little conversation, we're going to start with our tech pro, camera master, Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, I'm good. I'm going to report you to HR for not wearing a mask, for one. And little fun fact for you. Did you know that before being cast in Episode 4, New Hope, Mark Hamill had never seen a Star Wars movie?
That's a dumb joke.
You know, these actors, he should have read something.
It flew right over
Chris's
Chris's
head. Read the book.
I didn't get it.
Yes.
Can you explain it for the rest of us?
There was no Star Wars before Mark Hamill was in the first movie. So
That's
the joke
dumb
is
joke.
He couldn't. It's all right. It's a geek joke. It's not supposed to be good. All right. Nerds. Then we got the queen of the pod, Brooksy. How you doing, Brooks?
Doing great. Thank you for asking. I would like to take an audience poll to see how everybody thinks about my camera angle.
It's not the angle I'm worried about.
It's not the angle of the dangle.
What?
What?
Whoa. Whoa.
That was a funnier joke, at least.
Inappropriate joke. HR, please.
Who's HR?
Yeah.
Keith? Is Keith HR?
I'm going to have a long conversation with HR, man. Maybe that's my problem. Okay, and then next, I'm actually going to... Both of these guys are my new drinking buddies. We got James and Keith. How you guys doing?
We're sober since last time we met.
Are you?
Yeah, tonight I'm actually from our new sponsor.
Ooh.
Lean body. That looks gross.
Oh,
They're sponsoring us.
I thought it was Team Jordan.
Oh, no, they're not sponsoring us yet.
Is that the official drink of Russian ice skaters everywhere?
Official drink of Russian ice skaters.
That was a good one, Mike. That was a good joke.
Good one, Mike. Good one.
Yeah. So the reason I am sick is because I did take a trip, and we talked about this on the pod a little bit. I took a trip down to New York City with some family. I got to finally hang out with the two guys here. We had a nice night, drinking, conversations with some new friends, and then got to take my family out, do some fun stuff in New York City. My daughter is now obsessed with New York City and believes that she now has crew in New York, so she's allowed to go live there apparently.
And she's looking at colleges down there too.
NYU. She saw a bunch of druggies in front of NYU and she was hooked.
She went from, I don't know if I would, she went from, I'm not sure if I really want to go to college. So like, yeah, I'm looking at NYU for fall.
Yeah, shit. Dude, there was like a band there, like playing the same song for like 30 minutes. Guy on the drums was really nailing it. And then there was a lady with an anti-mask sign.
I miss New York.
People passing around brownies. The whole city was like...
Did you have a brownie?
No, I did not.
Big mistake.
The whole city was 50 degrees the entire weekend.
Oh, you guys hit a
Beautiful.
really sweet spot, yo. You guys hit a really sweet spot weather-wise.
So,
by the way, we'd like to personally thank the missus for letting this guy stay as late as he did to consume the beverages and the meals.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Yes, thank you.
And she set up the whole weekend. She's the person in charge around here, so she made it all possible. So yeah, logistics pro, and I don't want to go into the entire weekend, but I had a wonderful time, and it'll probably be my number one for the year. Because I screwed up last year's when I said my number one, but whatever.
One thing Chris did learn real quick when we were escorting him from Penn Station to his hotel is in the New York City subway, you got to have some pep in your step. You can't lackadaisically watch the door open, walk around, because before you know it, the door's closing. And also, he learned how to use the turnstiles better.
And to all the tourists out there, and to all the tourists out there, the escalators are not a ride. They are to assist you in your journey up the stairs. Like, please keep it moving or stand to a side.
Yeah, on the right side.
Us people in the burbs, man, we are lackadaisical. We do not hurry anywhere.
We were about to lose half his family on day one, getting into the subway train.
All right. Well, thank you guys for the great dinner and night, and James for getting us. We almost didn't survive the train station our first day, so thank you very much.
That's funny.
All right, so get going on our show tonight. You guys wanted to talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend, which surprised me that I didn't have any games on my my playlist today. So tell me about the All-Star Weekend.
Queen of the pod.
I'll start.
Go for it.
Really am digging the format of All-Star Weekend these days. Here's my one critique, and then I'll go back to the format. The slam dunk contest was the worst part of All-Star Weekend, hands down. And it used to be the best part, but it was so bad. And they had who was it? They had like a meme of somebody like leaving in the middle of All-Star, like someone like big, like some famous basketball player just like got up and left.
They also had Shaq falling asleep or looking like he's about to fall asleep.
It was really bad. And
was it Wilt Chamberlain that left?
Yes, it was Wilt Chamberlain. Yes, that's who like got up and left.
Oh, Wilt Chamberlain was dead, so he must have came back from the grave and then walked out again.
See how I know you're not a real Lakers fan? That's how I know.
You said Wilt
when you say up shit like that.
Did you just say Wilt Chamberlain?
Wait, who was it? No, it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
This is how I know you're not a Lakers fan or a human fan. The dude died.
I'm not a human fan. He died.
Her heroes will live forever.
Zombies freaking arrived. I would have left too.
In my head, I was thinking.
If I was Wilt Chamberlain, I would have left too. What the fuck am I here doing?
No, people would have been like, Jordan would have hugged him if he saw him.
Jordan would
have been like, yay!
So,
did you see the Jordan Mary hug though?
Yeah, I just sent it to you guys today.
I don't know. To me, that looked a little familiar.
No, but he was hugging everyone, man. He was hugging Luka. He was hugging.
Not like he hugged. Not like he hugged Mary. Not like he hugged Mary with the linger. Not with the hand.
He's got long arms and low hands, so it looked like it was inappropriate.
Yeah,
big hands.
And he has a high derriere.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brooks. Go ahead.
She didn't look very fazed by it either. They look very familiar together. That was cute. I like that.
It was cute.
I see you, Mike.
We don't want to be sued for libel. No, Jordan.
The other part of the weekend was that it was the 75th anniversary of the NBA. So, in honor of the 75th anniversary, they had the 75 top players in the NBA. This part I also thought was really interesting and really cool because they honored them on stage, those that could make it. And I thought that Michael Jordan was not there, and I was pretty pissed off about it. And Keith and I were kind of texting back and forth, and Keith was like, MJ doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's too big for this. And I didn't think he was, and I was really upset. And I was talking a lot of shit about him.
He was at Daytona.
But then at the end, he ended up coming. So now my respect for him is restored. But he definitely got there like right as they were entering
That is
him.
correct.
And they entered him introed him last, which makes sense because to me, he is the best, right? The greatest of all time. But I just love that they are honoring the players that have come before us, and like, I mean, not us because I'm not a player, but I love that they're honoring those players, and I feel like it's a really important part of the game to honor the players that like paved the
That's
way for what
another
the
thing
NBA
the NBA
looks
does
like
better
today.
than the other leagues by far.
They do. I agree with that. There is, of course, controversy on like the top 75. T-Mac did not make the top 75, which is garbage because of course he's in the
Eric's
top
on mute.
75.
Keith's on mute.
Keith, you want to say something?
He's still on mute.
Keith, you're on mute.
How Vince ain't make it?
Right. There's
how Vince Carter, like literally the most monstrous dunker in all of NBA history. How he ain't make it?
T-Mac didn't make it. Klay Thompson didn't make it.
But AD made it.
AD should not
James
have made
Harden
it.
made it.
I get.
Bernard King did not make
Dame
it.
Lillard.
But Bernard King didn't make it, but
Lillard can't even carry Chris's fantasy team, but he made it.
Lillard don't even have no hardware to even back up his ability. Are you telling me? I don't want to see.
Know.
There's people I would have put in front of Harden, in front of Lillard, in front of AD. But for the most part,
I agree with you. I also there was other random events that I liked. I like that they're really honoring HBCUs more. I liked the All-Star format, to be honest, the actual game itself. I like the format. I like seeing the guys have fun. I like seeing the high scores. I don't want to see defense. I'm not here to watch defense. It's not an actual
although they started
game,
double
right?
teaming Steph in that fourth quarter, at the very end, when he knew he was going to go for the record, that was kind of fucked up.
It was kind of fucked up.
No, that's funny. I think
it's funny. And
I think it was funny and fucked up at the same time.
Dude, if you're gonna go for a record, then you should have.
Nobody was stopping AD when he went for it at 52 when Anthony Davis did that shit in 2017.
You know what? I'll wait until it's my turn to rant because
I want to say one other thing, and then I want to hear Keith's rant. The other thing I want to say is, I loved that when Steph Curry came out, Cleveland booed him, because to me that's the ultimate respect, because he took champions away from Cleveland, right? Champion rings away from Cleveland. That's
Cleveland. He took them in Cleveland.
Right. So for them to boo was just like an ultimate sign of respect, because it's like when I see Tim Duncan and the first thing I say about Tim Duncan is fuck Tim Duncan as a Lakers fan, because fuck Tim Duncan. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same to me. It's the ultimate respect, actually. But then Steph was like, cool, you want to boo me? Great. I'll show you why you should boo me. And then ended up getting MVP. Like, that was the best. He was like splashing all over the court.
Just my last thoughts on the All-Star. Right. I think they need to redo the dunking contest. And in fact, I think the three-point contest is more exciting now for me to watch than it is the dunk. And I don't know what's happened to the skills contest. Now that they're like, Optimus Prime waving his arms when you're supposed to shoot over him in a moving hole. I'm like, what is this? Like, it's like a video game now, pinball.
I have some thoughts on it, and I definitely think I think the skills challenge shouldn't be changing from year to year.
Yeah.
Like,
confusing.
Do the skills challenge like they do in the combine. Cats know what they preparing for. Let them prepare for it so we can see the best performance. Like, it should be the same thing year to year. Like find something stable.
I like that one year they had the NBA legend, the WNBA, and an active player representing their city and town. I like that format. That one year they did it. They only did it for 1 year.
Cool. If that's the format, then keep it. But just be consistent with a format. Have something that people can train for and know what to expect. Or even as fans, that the structure of I want to like the skills challenge more, but sometimes it just seems a little bit too hokey. Make it look something like real basketball. You know what I'm saying? Make it look and keep it something. Keep that structure. Normally, I am not a fan of the All-Star weekend because I think it's become trash. I don't.
Well, and I think this weekend was different if they had
No,
all of
I was
those
just
like
about to say
all-time
that.
stars.
I'm gonna go ahead and give a caveat for this 75th anniversary weekend because I feel like it turned out to be very, very, very much more entertaining than it started out.
All right, so
but
our next...
I'm not finished, and I think that I would also appreciate. I know what Brooks was saying. Oh, she don't want to see no defense or this, that, and the other. Like, no, I like basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love, like, you got the collection of the top stars, the top talents in the NBA playing this game. Make it mean something. Like, make the winning of it mean something so that there's actual competition from beginning to end. Like. Maybe there's a $10 million bag or something but make
they donate to charity.
Yeah.
Okay.
$10 million to your charity choice.
That, but people really kind of fight more for their personal interest. So like, or some kind of seeding plus like it helps in. It helps you
does, right?
if you're one of the winners.
MLB does
that team.
Yeah, it's the home field advantage
in the World Series.
Yeah, it helps your team some way if y'all in the playoffs or something like. Make there some kind of like consequence. I want that game to mean something a little bit more so cats like for real like it's not just an exhibition of like let this guy run past me and let him do his thing and
until someone gets hurt at the All-Stars that's why everybody pulls out of the NFL.
Then nobody will play.
But they could get hurt right now. They could get hurt right now.
Ask street clothes Anthony Davis. He can get hurt.
They could get hurt right now in the game as it is. It could get hurt.
Yeah, I don't
I think
if you're gonna play.
All right, so we are going to do a quick look at the Doctor Strange.
Oh, time for me to rant. No, I'm joking. It's a good trip.
I didn't see it, so are we actually?
Yeah, live, man.
Okay, yeah, we can actually show it.
This is not a performance by Keith. It's the first time he's watching this.
I'm ready.
Ready?
Nope, here we go. That's Doctor Strange, all right.
I dream the same dream.
I'm telling you, this is going to be my number one pick for the movie vision.
The nightmare begins.
Lots of references.
I did what I had to do.
Chaos magic.
To protect our world.
American Chavez.
You cannot control everything, Strange.
So like LeBron and the Lakers GM.
Way between universes.
Control everything, right?
LeBron. We don't know who or what.
You wanted Westbrook.
Well, that's the wedding.
Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories.
So are we gonna get multiple Wandas or just one good bad one?
He was right. I'm sorry, Stephen.
Wow, look at those dreads! Pristine.
Looks good.
Will not go unpunished.
Oh yeah.
We should tell him the truth.
Professor X.
Professor X. Or is it Picard? Really crossing universes.
Well, graphics are gonna be crazy.
Things just got out of hand.
But it would have
to be. You break the rules.
What's nice is they can be as
become a hero.
Fun and exciting as they want to be. They're not trying to make things look.
I also like the dark hue. Like this is darker than a typical MCU movie.
That doesn't seem fair.
Oh yeah.
Cthulhu!
Cthulhu!
This shit.
That looks great.
Yeah, he brings some horror into a Disney MCU.
Well, it's funny because the initial Scott Derrickson, who directed the first Doctor Strange, that it was all talked about that he was going to bring a horror element, and that when they broke ties, all right, when he left, that it was because he was making it too horror. But by the look of it, I don't think this is more thriller with a slight horror vibe. I don't know if
not horror.
If that was
Definitely
the reason.
So the rumor mill is a buzz, though, for sure. People were analyzing the posters. They saw Captain Carter's shield in there. Yeah. So for those of you who haven't seen What If yet, go see What If on Disney Plus.
Yeah, the animated one is.
Yeah, and definitely goes and make sure you've watched WandaVision so you keep up with what's happening with Wanda in this movie. But yeah, the theories are crazy. What I mentioned the Illuminati scene before.
There's this Deadpool supposed to be in it.
Yeah, there.
Tom Cruise is supposed to be in it as an alternate version of Iron Man. All types of crazy rumors.
That whole thing started. The whole Tom Cruise thing started because somebody did a fan drawing of Tom Cruise in a suit. But they were talking about Deadpool is one. I don't know how likely that will be, but they were talking about the people who are sitting up in the seats in that scene where the Ultron robots are bringing him in. They were talking.
Well, I think it's confirmed that Professor X is one of them.
Right, but they were saying the other guys, like one guy was analyzing the guy all the way on the left and said it could either be Black Panther or it could be
Black Bolt.
Yeah, in the comics, it's Black Bolt and Black Panther, part of the Illuminati in the comics.
Right, but they also said they zoomed in. They said it could be a number 4 symbol for Reed Richards.
Yeah, who's also Illuminati.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the assholes of the Marvel Comics world, all in one room.
The assholes.
But yeah, man, this looks fantastic. I can't wait for this.
Hold on, Keith. It's your first time seeing it. What do you think? You're quiet.
I liked it. I don't get horror. I don't get that horror aspect from it, but I do get like I don't know where to put it, but like more.
Well, did you see What If?
I did not see.
Yeah, so if you see What If, you'll see some of the universes are where they're getting that horror stuff from.
Yeah, particularly that zombie universe.
Like the guy with the 6 arms was looked like a zombie Strange.
It does look dark, and that's actually in my mind the direction that I see a Doctor Strange movie taking. To tell you the truth, like I feel like that's the only logical direction.
Yeah, but we gotta remember Disney's still, Mother Disney's still gonna be.
Disney's still what? Trying to make money?
But they're trying to make money under the auspices of them being a family. PG-13.
Yeah, that family. Don't worry, that family-friendly joint gets stretched real far.
I mean, think about. I know Pirates of the Caribbean isn't necessarily scary, but their visuals they allowed to go pretty far with the skeletons and Davy Jones. They did wonderful work with that. And they can pull that PG-13 line without if you don't swear, you can pull that PG-13 line.
All they gotta do is
like Taffy.
That's the thing about PG-13. It seems like violence is okay, but language and sex is bad. So they have a weird way of
and drug use.
Huh?
And drug
yeah,
use.
and drug use. So they have a weird measuring system,
But with magic, you don't have the blood is the issue they have with the rating system. So with magic action, you can basically avoid all real blood and just have everybody explode into little cubes and ashes and shit, and then nobody cares, right? So you can get all of that PG-13 violence as much as you want. So we got some good stuff coming in, and with Wanda, being that dark and the multiple types of Doctor Strange, being the darker side of magic, I think you're gonna have some fun.
Do we have the runtime yet for this? No, right? It hasn't been released. The runtime.
I don't know. I didn't look.
Okay. Oh, I forgot. Brooks, what was your thoughts? We forgot to ask you.
Hated it.
No, I didn't hate it. I'm definitely gonna watch it in the theater. I just like this whole multiverse thing. It's just like I'm not buying it. I think it's just a ploy.
A ploy for what?
I think it's a ploy for Disney to make more money.
That angle.
Yeah, it is. I agree, but
that's the trade-off. Like, they find a logical way to keep providing us entertainment, and us having
just
a
like
logical
the Fast Saga.
Consume it.
Same thing.
No, those are
Yes.
different. We have the same Spider-Man, but 3 different people, and then they all meet because it's like a multiverse. Or
what do you think is going to happen in Fast 10? There's going to be a multiverse, and it's going to be like three Vin Diesels coming through.
Well, that would be great.
Tell me about the guy
that would be great, but not 3 Spider-Mans. Dear Lord.
Tell me about the guy that died in Tokyo Drift. What?
Yeah, bring him back.
Disney.
That was Han.
Disney.
Yeah.
Just
ahead,
the Phoenix Saga. Just please focus on this Phoenix Saga.
No.
If you're listening.
I'm the opposite.
No,
Keith.
do it correctly.
Put that
do
off.
it correctly.
Put that
Make it a 6 or 7 movie, a 6 or 7 movie kind of anthology. Like, come on. Like, you can do it. I know you can do that. And Secret Wars. Secret Wars,
I think, is coming.
Please,
Secret Wars has been greenlit.
It's coming. Secret Wars is coming.
Disney, Secret Wars, please. Please, it'll make you a lot of money.
They're doing that one. That I know for sure.
I have a lot of opinions about Disney X-Men, so we won't get there yet. We'll give it some time. All right, why don't we take a quick few second break here, and then we're going to talk about Kingsman. The Kingsman, or is it just Kingsman?
Kingsman.
The Kingsman.
No, just Kingsman.
Just sexist.
Not really just one man.
There was a woman in there too. Sexist.
Mm-hmm. Yo, kids, kids are so dumb.
She was actually.
Why are kids so dumb?
They should have just put her in the back of that plane. Like, what the fuck? Like, why did it even go down there?
And Brother Guy was good too.
All right, when we get back. Welcome back, everybody.
Keep that cold open.
We definitely. What? I am not introing nothing. I'm here to talk about Kingsman. Kingsman is the 2021 action drama, comedy, whatever the fuck it wants to be. Spy thriller, sort of. This is another Matthew Vaughn written, directed movie. You'll probably know Matthew Vaughn from his previous work, which is all the other Kingsman movies. But also Kick-Ass, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Layer Cake, some good stuff. Especially kind of out-of-the-box kind of work. Very interesting look, camera work, and whatnot. He's generally pretty good at this. Let's hear, written Carl. I'm not saying that word. I'm sorry, Carl. I don't know what the fuck your last name is. He wrote the screenplay. And it's written based on the comic book The Secret Service by Mark Millar. I'm sorry. Stars. Where'd the stars go? Oh, Ralph Fiennes, Gemma.
That's not how you say his name.
Oh man, I can't pronounce anything. I am sorry, guys. I am not feeling well.
Gemma Chan. No, not Gemma Chan. So Gemma Atherton.
Jesus, Gemma Chan.
Gemma Atherton.
Do all women look like
yes,
you,
they
Mike?
do.
With us today, Gemma Chan, Queen of the Pod. All right. Sorry, guys, I cannot pronounce the name
it's
usually,
okay.
but
Mike
it's worse
will
today.
show the whole IMDb credits roll past you.
There you go. Mike's gonna
edit that shit.
Information.
Post-production that.
We are gonna go spoilers quick. We're not gonna spend hours talking about this movie. I don't think it deserves it. Not because it doesn't have great individual.
Can I go first, Chris? Just to set the flavor?
Yes, I'm gonna let James go.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
You've heard of this. You've seen this, right? You know what that is.
It is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
Is this not why you are here?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Knock that shit off.
I was not interested in this movie whatsoever. I didn't like the second one. I actually did not want to do my homework assignment this week to watch this movie. And it wasn't for Keith's magnetizing way of words. He got me to actually give a damn and to give it a watch, and I did, and I'm glad I did give it a watch because it was very interesting. It was definitely better than the second one. I might even say it was better than the first because I think the first had probably the best action moment. That church scene, the fight with that was probably the best action moment in the franchise. But as a movie, I think the third movie was better, slightly ahead of the first, way beyond the third movie. So I'm glad I watched it. Shout out to the director. Shout out to cinematography. Shout out to even the musical score. I caught myself kind of like falling into the music playing in the background. My only rant about this is the revisionist history when it comes to what was happening in the Boer War and before World War One. Actually, during World War One, they took some liberties, to whitewash a couple things, which is fine. I get it. It's a movie. It's not a documentary.
I thought they were trying to point out, Ralph Fiennes' character was trying to point out that he did do that shit. Like, I didn't think they were whitewashing it. His character
did, but what was happening with
fact that he murdered
England,
a bunch of people.
Germany actually wasn't even Germany at the time, and Russia. There was a lot of stories that were being told, especially with when it came to Africa and Africa's involvement in Mexico. I think there was a little bit of whitewashing there. I'm not going to get to, the technical history lesson here, but that still didn't take away from the fact that I really enjoyed this movie. So that's my piece. Mm-hmm. Next.
All right. Keith, what did you think of the Kingsman?
Like James, I'm gonna agree with James here. I in particular think that it was the best of the three movies. And yes, agreed. That church fight scene in the first one is probably the best fight scene of all three movies. But as a total movie, storyline, character development, kids are so dumb, Don't listen, man. Just listen to Pop, man. But even the fact, even that scene when this is a spoiler
spoilers
review, right? Oh,
yeah.
When he gets killed, the fact that I felt something let me know my attachment to the movie was really kind of like I enjoyed it. I like the score. I like the fight scenes. I like the fight choreography. I like the whole Rasputin dance fight joint. I actually thought that was very creative.
Yeah, absolutely.
I even like Rasputin's character, to tell you the truth, but I really like that actor. Honestly,
I don't know who that was.
Yeah, I didn't like the corniness of the end of the movie, but meh, it is to be expected.
Let's see here, Rasputin.
Gemma Chan.
Rise.
We've seen him before.
Oh, Reese Fons, yeah.
We've seen him before on a couple other movies.
Well, can people just be named Carl from now on?
Fucking
that's how you pronounce that, is Reese?
Just fucking Carl.
Carl Smith.
Everybody's
Brad.
I would have never guessed
Bradford.
That. Can we get
Cumberton?
A good Stan.
Bradford Cumberton.
White people don't have to know how to pronounce names other than Carl and Ed,
Dude, this Rise guy is white. What the fuck?
It's Reese, damn it.
But it's not spelled like Reese. I can pronounce Reese Witherspoon. That shit's not Reese.
Clearly it is.
Come on.
According to him, so you walk up to him and go, "Hi, Rice, how you doing?" and see what he says.
Hi, Rice. Hi, Rice. Yay.
Rice would be a weird name.
Brooksy, I'm going to send it to you, being the first person who did their homework on this particular topic.
Yep. Okay. I'm desperately trying to find a recap over here because I watched the movie in the theater when it came out. But I didn't realize that there were other movies. I thought this was a one-off for whatever reason, just never heard of them. So I saw the movie without any historical knowledge, which I don't think you need to see this movie. anyways. But you know, like everyone else, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the scenes. I liked the acting. I also, when the son died, I was like very emotional. I was nervous throughout the whole movie. That's how I know when I'm attached to a movie, is when I get like anxiety and nervousness. Like, what's gonna happen now? Are they gonna get the bad guys? You know what I mean? Basically, like throughout the whole movie. So I was really into it, and I think I also just usually when I see a movie in the theater, I think it adds like more to it, so I'm more interested in the movie in general. Like, had I have watched it on my couch with like my dog sleeping and you know me on my phone like scrolling through Instagram, it might not have been as moving or interesting to me. But I really liked it. I will say, like, I understand why they call it the King's Man, but I agree that there were more like characters involved than just, you know.
Brooksy, do you want to have any more? Or do you want me to pass it over to Mike?
No, I would like to pass it to Mike. I would like to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, so I didn't have any interest like James in this movie when it was announced and saw the trailers and stuff. I did like the Kingsman. I agree with you guys that church scene was epic for that franchise. And I enjoyed the Kingsman, and I thought Golden Circle was okay, but not great.
The worst one is actually the King's Speech. I didn't think that fit into this universe at all.
They so this one I was like, all right, I'll just check it out, right? Because a prequel didn't do anything for me. So, but it was a lot better than I expected. Definitely better than not the Golden Circle. What is it? Yeah, it's the Golden Circle, right? That's what they call the second one, something like that. I don't know.
Wait, isn't that the Hellboy?
The Golden Compass. I thought you said Golden Compass.
Circle. No, the Golden Compass is the other one. It's not...
Yeah, but Kingsman, the Golden Circle, they call it. That's what it is. The Golden Circle, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. And I thought, the actors did a great job. Rasputin was creepy, which was great. And Ralph Fiennes is always great. He's a brilliant actor. So, and Gemma Arterton. I remember her from Wrath of the Titans, and a couple other things. She was in a Bond movie, I think, too, right? Yeah. She was in a Bond movie, so I know her from a few things. And Diamond Hansu is Merlin. Mm-hmm. He's always good to watch. So.
Interesting.
The acting was fine, and the director, he has a unique take on his action movies, which I like. So he's got this particular style you'll notice when you're watching one of his movies, and it's a pretty interesting take. So overall, I thought pretty decent, surprisingly good. So that's where I'm at with that.
All right, so I'm actually with Brooks here in that I have not seen any of the other movies. I know it's going to be a shock to everybody, but I did not see either the Golden Circle or the Kingsman movie. I really liked certain parts of this movie, and I really liked other parts of this movie, but it feels like there are two movies in the same movie. And I hate when there's two completely different things happening simultaneously. So number one, you have this awesome, goofy action, alt history, kind of like a evil League of Extraordinary Gentlemen kind of shit going on. Rasputin was so much fun, so much character. His fighting style was so unique. That entire scene was just some of the best action. I told you guys on chat, the best action. We've been forced to watch some really crappy action this year. That shit was awesome. It was fire. Shout out to the choreographers, the director, the actors, the any stunt people involved. Everything was great about it, including the weird like Rasputin licking Ralph Ralph Fiennes' leg, like inner thigh, tell him he's gonna heal him, and Ralph Fiennes like getting off, like, and them like listening in the door, should we go in? Like that shit was so funny. And they did the whole, he's like eating the poison cake, like just everything about it was just over the top, and that's why I like that. Even the ending where, you know, I can say, you know, just have what's her name fly around in the plane and pick people off from the air, like, but that wouldn't be as fun. Having Ralph Fiennes like miss the landing, have to climb like the goats, you know, then having the whole sword fight. But
I forgot about the goats.
The goats were great.
I did.
Yeah.
The goats were the goats of the movie.
The goats made it.
Especially that last one.
The goats made it.
Right?
Yeah,
I thought I saw our Heroes Peak goat up there, so if I'm not mistaken.
He was.
Nice.
He was up
Nice
there. I
synergy
saw
there.
him
I
in the
like
back. His cape was flowing. The reason I say there's two movies in here, because that's an awesome movie, but there's also this World War I Ralph Fiennes led drama where he's trying to be a pacifist and teach his son about pacifism while also being a rich aristocrat who kind of has done some shit but doesn't want his kid involved, and then his kid ends up going to war, and you're scared for the kid's life, and he wants to be a hero and be like his dad and fight for his country, but his dad tells him, "Dude, that's bullshit. Don't worry about that bullshit." And then the speech at his funeral, Ralph Fiennes just dropping bombs at the funeral was great. But it's a different movie. It's so different in tone from the fun action, alt history stuff to this drama, like serious messaging drama that was happening.
But
like, and it was too long.
We've had that for all the other Kingsmen. I know you haven't seen it, but there's in the original one
there's
the
a
kid,
tone change. Yeah, there's a tone
change.
change.
The kid is dealing with his family issues as well, with his mom and his stupid stepdad and all that stuff. But yeah, I get where you're going, and I was actually quite shocked at the son being shot and killed. I was like, "What? That kind of came out of nowhere."
Me too. I told you guys that.
Yeah, me too.
I was waiting for it because
jarring.
even if I haven't seen them, I know they exist. So I know Ralph Fiennes exists in the future. He's not going to die, but he's also a lone action star in the future. So I'm like, okay, when's this kid going to die? So the entire time I'm waiting for his, and you know, if you're a person, your main character is a pacifist and telling a person not to go to war, that guy goes to war, that guy's going to die. Like, it's just 100% going to happen. I think if you took that section, and cut that shit in half and gave me more Rasputin and gave me more fun action beats, like, let the kid go on a second mission with his dad before he gets off to war. Like, that shit.
I think you're gonna like the first movie better. I think Chris is gonna like the first movie better.
I just like, I'm sitting there and the movie I want, I get in little dibs until the end, which is like all of that movie. But then I'm like watching this other movie that's pretty good, but doesn't really belong here. It's just way too long. So I just think that section for having a movie where at the end Hitler shows up in an after credit scene, like, it just felt really weird.
I think we're looking at it
disconnected to me.
I think we're kind of taking it maybe a little bit too seriously in the historical part. I think those figures are really just there as like bad guys, the historical bad guys that we know, whatever. I think like this. I think like I don't think that there's a huge attempt to be historically accurate.
No, I don't want them to be. I want them to be as freaking weird and crazy and Rasputin-y as possible. But the whole World War I child drama thing makes me feel like they were trying to be honest and anti-imperialist.
Listen, I have my own issues with the whole revisionist history too, but I turned that part of my brain off at a certain point, and was like,
Yeah,
but you
like,
can't because he had a serious movie.
Yes.
Had me thinking about it before I had the fun
like
shit.
like to me, this felt like it was a multiverse. It was like another universe where some of the events that happened in our universe occurred in this universe.
How many different movies or content pieces used Hitler as like the villain?
But he's always bad. Like Hitler is bad, but like
Inglourious
this guy
Basterds.
just trying to take down the British
but this
Empire,
version of
was
Hitler
that
made it
bad?
seem like he was already a badass from like 1900s, which he wasn't.
He's not a painter. He's not coming in as a failed painter.
By the way, I did like that between the trenches fight.
No Man's
the knife
Land.
fights and stuff.
Yeah,
when
that was dope.
They didn't want to make noise, and so they all pulled
That
out
was
their knives
dope.
and stuff.
That was dope.
I agree. These are awesome scenes, but Jesus, I wish it was one consistent movie. Either crazy, funky alt history, or make me think about imperialism.
Turn your brain off, man. Turn that
the
right side of your brain
one of
has
the
to
two.
turn off.
You
For some of these.
pick-
All right,
can't
let's
be-
go to grades.
Like,
Let's go to
am
grades. Let's go to grades.
All right, let's go to grades.
Please.
Mike.
So this one, like I said, it had its good points and bad points. Because it surprised me being better than I thought it was going to be, I'm going to go with a B-.
Oh wow, that's lower than I would have expected, but yeah, interesting. James.
I'm going to go slightly higher because, again, it surprised me as well, but I did enjoy it a lot. Where I could nitpicking, I already did that, so I'm giving it a solid B. Solid B.
Solid B. Brooks.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a solid B as well. Maybe like between a B and a B plus.
B asterisk.
Yeah.
All right, Keith.
I'm with Brooks in that B plus range.
All right,
take us home,
pretty
Chris.
consistent here. I'm gonna take you home because I saw absolutely 2 B plus movies that were jammed together
to make a super B plus.
1 B minus movie.
That doesn't make mathematical sense.
Can't pick you to make 1 B
It
plus.
does.
It
does make sense.
You're not multiplying it. You're adding it.
Just like Book of Boba Fett, you can't put 2 different things. I don't want waffles and frickin' pasta. Like I like them both, but separate. Right.
I'm going to take a copy of The King's
B-,
Man, and I'm going to edit it into 2 separate films for him. And I'll set it to him.
Thank you. Then you'll
Josh Whedon version
watch
and a
2
Zack Snyder
B+
version.
movies. All right. B minus.
B minus.
It's a B minus.
B plus B plus equals B minus.
Absolutely. See, the
All
math
that
works
and you
out.
still got a B minus, like.
Yeah, B plus plus B plus
Square root
equals
of
B
B
minus.
plus.
That's exactly how it works.
Radical B plus.
Look,
It's radical B plus.
it's a radical B plus. B plus squared B equals B minus.
That's possible.
Something.
This
you
is
know
what happens when you teach CRT in schools, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Watch your brain.
Dude, I may have failed my algebra regents several times, but this is my math. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk Peacemaker, the #1. I think it's the #1 rated television series going on.
No, Euphoria is.
Yeah, but do you really want it?
Good song.
I feel like that's a joke and none of us got it.
Song. I got it. I
got it. I just can't laugh right now.
Now Euphoria right now is #1, followed by Peacemaker.
Ooh, Euphoria. Zendaya showing her power.
Peak soon.
All right, when we get back. Okay, we're back. I will survive for the next 45 minutes, I swear. All right, we're here to talk about Peacemaker, the 2022 superhero action comedy series, written and directed by James Gunn, based on the DC superhero comic characters. Peacemaker, let's see here, picking up directly after the events of the Suicide Squad, which was probably the best superhero movie of 2021.
The freak you just said? No, I'm not gonna let that. I am not letting that slide. The best superhero
and starring John Cena. John Cena, Danielle Brooks, Freddie Stroma. Oh my gosh.
I think those
Jennifer
drugs
Holland,
are getting to Chris right now.
Stephen McGee, Chukwudu Iwuji. Sorry for mispronouncing it again. I am very sick. All right. So this television series, like I said, picks up directly after the events of the Suicide Squad and follows another group under the direction of Amanda Waller, who have a mission to kill some possible alien invasion. Not as powerful as the Suicide Squad because there's only one superhero who's not actually super. Yeah. And several undercover U.S. agents who are pretty good at their jobs.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
You've heard of this. You've seen this, right? You know what that is.
It is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
Is this not why you are here?
Do or do not. There is no choice.
Knock that shit off.
All right.
So
what is this? This is a is this a 7-episode series, right? 8 episodes. 8-episode series on HBO Max, and we all I've watched all of them. Keith, you just started it, right? Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think? Kind of walking into it, kind of blind. We kind of convinced you to take a look at it. What did you think of it?
Wait, what? Say that again. What convinced me to?
What do you think of the? What do you think of as you started the first episodes? What's your first impression of the series?
As it opened up, like it's funny. It took me. As it opened up, I actually think like I warmed up to it like immediately. I kind of like I understood the texture of where it was going, like, and I was all for it. Like, cool. Like this is gonna be kind of like. Yeah, like a funny kind of like The Boys kind of like feel to it, and so yeah, I dug it. It pretty much delivered that. And again, I say testament to John Cena's performance because like I feel like the character that he's playing is more complex than it probably is being given credit for. And I like that he's bringing out that complexity a little bit more than what you would have gathered in Suicide Squad. You know, like I do like that expansion on like oh, he's got a perverted sense of honor, but it's still there. Like he was just raised by a bigot, and it's like a flower trying to come through the concrete, and so you get you. I like the movie. I like the movie a lot. I mean, I'm sorry, the show. I like the show a lot. I'm only up to episode like 4. I'm up to episode 4, but like I'm liking how the characters are being woven in. It's very interesting, the relationships that are being built, and like it's progressing authentically. I like it. Yeah.
I love the visual of the flower coming through the concrete. Because
that's what I get. Like that's what I get from it now, seeing the dynamic of like him and his father, and like, oh, his father was a super racist superhero douchebag. Like,
right.
Really, him coming through there and being who he is, he's a black sheep in his family, but like he wants to be honorable. His sexism isn't on purpose. It's like those are the parts that's just like programmed into him that he thinks is socially acceptable.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But like in practice, like he couldn't shoot the kid, even after seeing that it was one of the what you call it. It's like he has an internal struggle with those things that are commonly immoral, and it seems like it comes from nowhere, but like he's literally manifesting it himself.
Yeah, they do that with nice moments where you see him being sexist, but then he kind of learns slightly a little bit, and you can see him really wanting to learn, but also all of that nasty stuff is just built so far into the character. It's got to be dug out.
Even at the end, sorry Keith, we're gonna throw some spoilers in. With the guy he kept insulting as Diebeard throughout the whole season. When Diebeard had his moment, he was doing his monologue about, I dye my beard because, you know, I want people to like me.
Right.
And you could see it in Peacemaker's eyes.
He finally admits that he dyed his beard.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. That's a heart-wrenching moment.
There's gonna be spoilers for you. Sorry about that, but so you could see it in Peacemaker's eyes, like, yeah, maybe I need to stop insulting him, like, you know. So he is learning.
There's a funny bit where he what's the name of the sidekick?
Vigilante.
Where Vigilante is talking about how Peacemaker as a kid insulted everybody. And Peacemaker goes, I was insulted too. Everybody kept calling me bully.
Yeah, I was bullied for being a bully.
Everybody called me bully.
Yeah. It hurt my feelings.
So it's like, right. So it's that weird bit with the character where the character can go, you can be like, he's just being childish and annoying, and then flips, and all of a sudden he's sincere and honest and showing how he's hurt or how he's scared or how he's worried. And John Cena pulls all of that off.
And he pulls it
rare.
off. Like,
I don't know how a person can go from fart jokes to, hey, you hurt me, and it really stung, and it's deep down, and I thought we were friends. Like, that switch is such a weird, and it only really happens in like a James Gunn thing. All right, Mike, go ahead. What did you think of Peacemaker?
Oh, yeah, I love this show. It was fantastic to watch from beginning to end. Non-stop humor and action for me. It was great. I gotta say though, my favorite character isn't even an actor. It's Eagly. Was probably my favorite character.
CGI bird.
Yeah. So Eagly was fantastic.
Yeah, that was nice. Trying to be this version of Grogu, DC's Grogu.
Right. As far as the bad guy, like, you know, it can be whatever with it because it wasn't. I don't think the bad guy was that great, but you know, it's a whole species of the butterflies, right? So yeah.
Yeah, but the bad guy though, they let the bad guy change. Like, it wasn't just like the butterflies.
Then it was the
like,
cops.
Well, it's also this person, but sometimes it's this
Amanda
person.
Waller,
but is it that person?
Waller. Yeah.
It kind of floats around and lets the character float. Like, his dad's the bad guy, but also like the overarching villain is this, and well, they have to do. But is that really what they have to do? The bad guy thing is kind of amorphous.
Yeah, you're right there. The supporting players as well, I thought did a great job. So I like that Jennifer Holland's character. What's her name? The blonde woman.
Harcourt?
She kept educating. Harcourt, yeah.
Harcourt.
Yeah, she kept educating him, like in the bar when he was being a dick, and you know, like you said, he was constantly learning, which I thought was good. And some of the fight scenes were fantastic. I love when the two of them are in the woods just blowing stuff up, just having a good time. What was he attaching a grenade to, like a bomb or something, and he threw it in the factory?
I believe it was a Russian.
Yeah,
tank.
something.
Yeah, he threw it at a car once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
them just being goofy.
Yeah, and so it's like the outrageousness of it was really funny. So.
All right. James, we're gonna pass it over to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill this whole love fest with John Cena. Granted, he definitely was his best role I've seen him to date, and I do admire what he came in and he put in this show. But I think what we're forgetting, and I don't think we're all forgetting, because I think Mike and I agreed on Twitter, is the brilliant writing by James Gunn for this show. Because he wrote all 8 episodes, and he directed 5 of the 8. And there were so many pieces of dialogue, I'll get to the action in a second, that was observational humor, which we don't see much anymore in a lot of shows. You know, that's like maybe on cable TV, we'll see some shows like that. Like when they were looking at the Eagly carry off the freaking helmet, and there's like a dead pause, then it drops, and then she looks, hardcore goes around, I can't believe we really thought that was going to work. Like, when she was at the bar with him and he was hitting on her, she was like, I just want to drink my beer with the guy getting fucked, I fucked, or whatever it was she said. Like, there's so much dialogue in this, and then I keep calling her Adebayo, Bam Adebayo from the NBA. I know that's not her real name, but you know who from Orange is the New Black. There were so many conversation pieces that she had that was a testament to some brilliant writing that kept me engaged when there wasn't action. And when we did have action, like for example, Judo Master, a character that's deep in the cut of Batman's. He's a Batman. He's in one of Batman's rogue. Stuff like that came to the forefront, and they did it well. The butterfly concept, which to me sounded ridiculous, but by the finale, you had some sort of emotional engagement with these butterfly things that made no sense in the first episode. So I think it'll be behooving not to give credit to James Gunn as a writer and director of this show. Much more so than John Cena's performance and anyone else on the show's performance. I think he was definitely the MVP. He was the GOAT for this show. And yeah, I really enjoyed this show. It was the best, and I don't want to say it's the best TV superhero show, but it's neck and neck with some of Disney Plus's Marvel shows.
Yeah, I respect the writing, and I think that was a really I think that's a good point that you made. But like to say that, you know, the actors have to carry it off, bro.
Yeah,
like
and you know what?
The coach is important.
Yes,
the coach is important. The coach is important. What's his name in San Antonio is probably like the best coach in all of basketball, but he don't win the chip every year because you still gotta have the talent to run your set.
And I give you that.
And I
gave John Cena his flowers. But when I realized, and after I saw the finale, I did some research. James Gunn, after he finished Suicide Squad, reached out to John Cena because he thought his character could actually, there's more to this character than what he was able to write just for the Suicide Squad movie. So they sat down together, like Coach Pop and Tim Duncan, and said, this is a story I want to tell about this character, and I want to weave it into this DC storyline. And John Cena was like, hell yeah, give me this role. I can chew it. I can show you that I can act, which he did. I'm telling you, he did. But, you know, no one's giving right now James Gunn credit other than us for this show, which I think he does deserve the credit.
Yeah, that's definitely a mistake.
I know, definitely would agree.
James Gunn.
This dude was almost out of a job 2 years ago. Remember the beginning of the pandemic? Marvel fired him. He was canceled. You know, he had some pedophilia jokes that circulated, and then this dude was out of a job. Now look at him.
Yeah, he's got that sense of humor, and when it's just like Peacemaker, if it's targeted properly, can bring a lot of fun.
See,
for
that was James Gunn wrote this about what he envisioned himself being, a sick, demented guy who's a rose trying to break out of the concrete, like Keith said.
Right. So James Gunn, great job. I said when I saw John Cena kill or Peacemaker kill what's his name during the Suicide Squad, Rick Flag, that scene told me John Cena had talent. He wasn't just a giant goofball who was willing to walk around in his underwear, who looks kind of comical because he's just so freaking bulky, and he's got a great facial, fun stuff, and good timing. Like, because he's done the wrestler thing where he's done the kids movie, he's done the terrible B-level, C-level action Marine guy. I think the movie was called Marine. Or something.
Yeah. Don't forget that terrible performance in Fast 9.
Ugh.
Right, exactly.
This is the guy you're saying is better than The Rock? Come on.
Get in line.
And now, just like Dave Bautista runs into James Gunn, and James Gunn finds that diamond in the coal and says, this is how you're going to be a star.
He's a kingmaker.
He pulled a performance out of him in the Suicide Squad, and you saw it at display this entire time. So I give props to both of them. The entire cast.
Yeah,
everybody did a great job. But James Gunn's writing, him finding the ability to again do some childish adult comedy that's for everybody, and find the heart within the story as well and within the characters. So I didn't expect, just like you guys, I was like, oh my god, Peacemaker? That's the guy they're gonna choose to... Like, DC has like a million amazing characters, and you're gonna fucking throw Peacemaker at me. And you guys have been enjoying more the CW, DC stuff, and people have been enjoying the Titans and shit like that. Fuck Batman. Ugh. Like, I'm adult. But, like, James Gunn does it in both ways. He does the serious, the violence, the heart, the comedy. He does the whole shebang. Now, I don't want him to do a Justice League movie. I don't think he has what I want to see out of that, but he nails these characters. Like, I want to see him do Polka Dot Man. I want to see him do...
You know, the power and influence of this guy, and not to spoil it to Keith, but there's a scene that he did near the end of the show where he did it on Marvel's set, because he was filming Guardians 3, and they had to film the big Easter cameo near the end of the finale. That was done on Marvel's set with Marvel's director of photography. That's is funny. Fucking power. Like,
right. But look, just to finish off what I was gonna say is in probably episode 2, the scene where Peacemaker basically falls in his bed in his house and he's just crying to himself about what he did in the Suicide Squad. Keith, you saw that scene, right? That was in like episode 2.
Yeah, and then the scene when he's remembering his brother's death, I think episode 4.
I think, yeah, that gets towards the end, 4 or 5. But, like, he pulls those scenes very well. And if he couldn't pull those scenes, I think this show would kind of fall apart into the goofy dust-up it could be, which would be a fine show. But I think it does
definitely give John
Cena
credit.
Together.
I'm not saying he definitely gets the credit.
But, yeah, we also have to talk about the other characters. Danielle Brooks, like you said, Leota. Her and John Cena's scenes together really work really well. And then her and her girlfriend, you know, and then her worrying about her mom and that all stuff. Good work. I loved, what's her name? The cop.
The female Asian cop.
Annie Shea.
Yeah, I've seen her in a couple things before. I like her role. Especially when she turned. Without spoiling it.
Her action scene with John Cena was awesome. And 2 people of that enormous size difference. I mean, kind of like we saw...
What about him and Judo Master?
With Judo Master, the same thing. The choreography, the acting, and the directing, all of it makes those characters feel like they're working. And we just watched Fistful of Vengeance, and we were like, some of these scenes aren't really feel... like
That's
they're
a
working.
travesty.
And those are professional, great martial artists. And
Can't
I'm like,
pull it off.
Is that scene really working? Like, what are we doing here? But they managed it with Annie Chang and Judo Master and all these guys. And even Harcourt had some great scenes.
Vigilante had some great scenes when he was in the prison.
Every Vigilante in the prison.
That was great.
Was some of the best prison fighting since Punisher.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Right.
Punisher and Daredevil season 2. Yeah.
So yeah, all top to bottom, this was a surprise to me. Not because I didn't think James Gunn could do it, but I just didn't think this would work for me.
We didn't think these characters would resonate with us. That's what it comes down to.
He just really let loose. Like he was freed. Like they said, James Gunn, here,
he's the hottest commodity right now for directors.
Whatever joke you want to tell.
He's supplanting the Russo. Well, let me not say that. I'll pause on that one.
All right. So, anybody have any last words about Peacemaker before we give grades?
They are going to be doing a season 2, and I'm looking forward to it. So.
Oh yeah. Wow.
See where they go from here.
Does James Gunn said anything about doing any other characters or Suicide Squad?
Batmite? I think he said he wanted to do Batmite.
Holy shit!
I don't know if he's joking or not.
I don't know.
But...
This guy just.
They are talking. Yeah, there's supposed to be another spinoff. So.
I guess if someone could pull it off, it would be him.
Yeah, remember Groot and Rocket? Nobody wanted to see that before Guardians 1.
All right. Go ahead. Keith, I don't know. You haven't seen the series. You don't want to grade it yet?
It's so far. I'll give it an A based on so far.
All right. Wow. Nice. Mike.
Yeah, it's gonna be A- for me, and I also just want to quickly mention I love the cameo at the end.
Yeah. Again, that was filmed in a set of Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy 3. A-.
A-. Yeah, I'm going between A and A-. I think I'm gonna go with A. I think I didn't sit there at any point and went like, oh, I wish those guys died differently. Like once I saw the chainsaw death, I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, go for it. Right? Give me that.
You know, the one part that didn't work for me real quick as we end was the Amanda Waller and Bam Adebayo's relationship. To me, it just didn't seem realistic.
Don't disrespect the girl. Say her name.
What is her name?
Right. Learn it correctly.
What's her name, Chris?
Her Danielle
Brooks.
The character's Leota Adebayo.
They use her real name.
Her name is Adebayo. Okay,
that's
so let's call her by her character's name. Because that's what we're talking about, the movie, not the actress. Her relationship with Amanda Waller, to me, didn't seem realistic because everything we know about Amanda Waller to date, putting her daughter in that position, her daughter not having any sort of real training into this world, her just coming in as like no field experience, and then you're putting her in this high risk, high casualty type of role. To me, didn't seem realistic, other than the fact that you wanted to create this character that had blood lineage to Amanda Waller, and then them being like, oh, what's she going to do? She's going to turn her mom? She's not going to turn her mom. So that part really bothered me, especially when we got to the finale, which, again, Keith hasn't seen, the big Black Widow little,
But she was trained.
She gets her
It's not like she wasn't trained. She was trained her whole life. They cut back to when she was a child.
But she was like, I've never fired a gun before. I've never shot at someone.
No, she wasn't. She was never in the field, but she was trained by her mom.
I don't think so.
There's a scene that flies back to her childhood.
All right, I don't remember that scene.
I'll have to see that. Yeah, I agree though. Keep it from being an A+. I didn't think they built that in any meaningful way. Like, it was mostly coming out of the actress feeling worried, like she did a good job.
And her relationship with her wife, that also felt kind of shooting.
Right. But they really didn't... The Amanda Waller thing did feel more cameo-ish than it did feel like a real threat at any time, right? Like, Amanda Waller should feel like a threat.
Justice League level threat.
Like, they should be
just as Justice League level.
As of any... Right, exactly. So, and the cameo at the end was fine.
Let Keith see that for himself and make his own judgment.
It was fine. Whatever. I didn't think they'd done. I know they can't do a lot with it. That's probably really what it is they're just not allowed to. I was glad they got who they got because I think that's a better cameo. But all right. So yeah, A for me though. I had a great time watching the whole thing. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Mike, where can they find us?
As usual, we are all over the internet at Heroes Peak. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell in the corner to get notifications. Leave a comment below and share our content.
Please leave a comment. Please, please, please. I keep asking every week. Don't text. Leave a comment. We really appreciate it. It goes a long way for us.
All right. Well, it's very late. I'm not feeling well, and I'm going to get some sleep. Good night, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us.
Don't get that horse thing.